Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. There's another paid request, this time from Edward. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos, topics, commentaries, reviews, re-reviews, randomness, whatever it may be, feel free to send them either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for 2 more episodes of South Park, this being Season 4, Episode 2 and 3. And South Park Season 4, Episode 2, I really enjoyed because, crazy enough, this is very... This seems like an episode that would have been made because of today's climate with this story, where the South Park kids are sledding. They don't have a race, one with the boys, one with the girls. There's a black kid who's literally called Token, as in Token black guy. The girls always call him stuff like butt pirates and things of that nature. And then Carbon's like, well, why don't you girls wash dishes or get pregnant or something? Just Carbon just says the craziest shit. And then there's an argument that happens. Carbon throws a rock. It hits Token in the eye. But then the FBI come in because since Token was an African American, it's automatically a hate crime. And just the overzealous, over-the-top, ridiculous nature of things, which is a common thing in today, South Park made fun of it. Way back in the day here, in Season 4, way back in the day, this is what, probably 2000, probably around 2000 or so this episode came out. Think about it, I mean, like during the trial when he says, you know, it's a black kid. Did you call him black? But he is black. Oh my God, he called him black again. You're a racist. But he is black. But you called him, you said it again. You're a racist. And I'm like, the way this is being done for comedy is what happens nowadays. It's literally what happens nowadays. I'm like, holy shit, like, back in 2000, this was called out by South Park. There's an interesting line that says, listen, if you want to hurt another human being, you better make sure they have the same colors you do. And Cartman gets arrested. He's put into prison. It's doing a parody of Oz. For those who remember Oz, the prison drama on HBO. I think it was HBO. Yes, before that, there's even a take on the O.J. Simpson car chase with the white Bronco, only this is a toy truck that Kenny has, and Cartman's riding with Kenny, and it's going so slow, but the cops are just after him. Sorry, my nose itching. And so then Cartman, that screws up. Cartman's in prison. The other kids, they need someone for their sled race. They try these bricks, it doesn't work. So they need to get Cartman out for the sled race. So they all get together along with Token to tell the judge and the lawyer about hypocrisy, you know, hate crimes. Well, this person does this. Isn't that technically a hate crime? When one person kills another, whoever it is, isn't that a hate crime? If this person tries to burn down a building that's a government place, isn't that a hate crime? But this is labeled a hate crime, so where's the hypocrisy? It's, you know, but how the whole thing's hypocritical. You hurt another person is bad. Unless it's an evil person like fucking Hitler, but if, like, you hurt another person and you're both innocent, it's still bad. No matter the color of his skin. But it's also got some humor to it as well, like Cartman. He's got get cigarettes in there for his cellmate. And so then when he's talking to the kids, he's like, you got the cigarettes? Yeah, but how you don't get them out, you know, into the prison? And then Cartman quietly says, that's why I have to hide them up my ass. And then of course the kids laugh at him. And he slowly does it. You hear it. and he gets him out. Then he accidentally flushes it, and he's like, "God damn it!" So then he has to do it again. That's doing that kind of humor actually in a clever, funny way. And again, I've said this before, the Cartman voice, the way it's done, especially in this time period, makes almost anything hilarious to me. I don't know what it is, just that voice in this time period. Most of the stuff he says makes me chuckle or smile or laugh. Just that tone of voice, the way it's done. I just see idea why he became kind of the, not even kind of, he was the star of the show. Kind of like how Homer Simpson became the star of The Simpsons. Same with Cartman here. And they're able to win the race, but they win the race because Cartman knocks the girl sled off a cliff. This was a fun episode. I thought this was one of the better episodes for the topic, for being to me, a smartly written episode, but still being based on the characters. Not just here's this celebrity, here's this random celebrity, here's this random celebrity we'll make fun of. Based on the main title, the main kid characters, telling an interesting way about the ridiculousness of what's going on, making a point, but also realizing you have to entertain as well. So the car chase, Bronco chase, the Cartman dealing with stuff in prison, that type of stuff all came together, made a rather entertaining episode. And episode 3, I thought was a step down. It's more about Timmy. The counselor thinks he's ADD. I was like, well, no, he's mentally challenged. That's why he can only say Timmy. But the counselor and others think the only reason he keeps saying Timmy is because he's ADD. So then all the kids, wait a minute, he doesn't have to do homework? I have ADD as well. I got attention deficit disorder as well. So then they all get told they have ADD, and then they all get Ritalin, and by eating the Ritalin, they act like nice, brainwashed kids. And even the chef is like, what the hell? This is bullshit. That portion was somewhat entertaining. How it's very easy to classify. It's just this habit where people keep classifying themselves as this, and this. It's like, well, wait a minute. Are you really that, or are you just, is something else going on? Like they keep saying, well, more and more people, they're autistic, they're on a spectrum. I said, well, is that the case, or is there something more to it? Let's not just assign these labels so easily. Let's look a bit more in depth into it, which is kind of the rationale behind this. And I thought the whole Ritalin subplot was a bit better. Because the main plot is Timmy did with a band, and even though he did just say Timmy, this band likes him, and the band's become successful, but Phil Collins, for some reason you have Phil Collins, he doesn't like the band, he's trying to dismantle the band, and then one of the band members decides to leave, then ultimately comes back, and the kids say, well, Timmy was in your face, and you had to deal with him. That's why Timmy rules. Which is an interesting, it's valiant idea that, listen, you say you want to help, but you want to help by pushing him away and put him in a corner and hide him away. No, he's like, no, this is me. I'm in your face, deal with it. I like what I do. This is who I am. I'm not ashamed of it. It's a valid idea, it just wasn't an entertaining segment of the episode. Like, I don't care about this band, I don't care about their singing, I don't care if their band's successful or not, I don't care about Phil Collins not liking the band. It just, again, I know this isn't always the case, but it's just like, we hate Phil Collins, so how do we make someone to shit on Phil Collins? Okay, that's a lot of times it seems like what it is. Even if it's not, that's what it feels like it is. I've said it before, when they're basing it more on their actual characters. It's like, well, I'm not really a Family Guy fan, But it's like Family Guy, where out of the blue, because someone said something, now they're in a completely different scene for like 10 seconds. Then we're back to our story. I remember when I first saw Family Guy, that got annoying real quick. I say I think when it's on the actual kids and their story, like the Ritalin part, that was a more interesting story to me. I think that's one of the reasons where the episode 2 worked so well, because it was all about the kids, and each subplot was interesting. The rest of the kids trying to figure out how they get Cartman out, or Cartman dealing in prison. They're still dealing with the main characters, still relating to the story, and I thought I did have more interesting stuff to say, to make fun of, as well as being entertaining. This, like quite a few of the episodes of the past, it's like half the episode's interesting, half the episode I don't give a shit about, with these subplots. Episode 3 kind of falls into that category. And I'm sorry, I don't really give a whole fuck about Timmy. I get he's Timmy, he's his Timmy. There are people who like Timmy. I just don't care one way or another about Timmy. I just don't. I think the only time I cared was that him and this other got into a fight where they redid the fight from They Live. I remember that was in a South Park episode. That's like the only time I cared about Timmy. But I think that was Timmy. Could be wrong. I think it was, yeah. It's been a while since I've seen that. But I mean, other than that, like episode 2 I really enjoyed. Episode 3, it is what it is. Then the animation, the music, pretty typical throughout the show. That's why they're able to make it and voice it in 6 days. So the cheapness of it helps in their favor. More on target with its topicality, if that's even a word. Where again, when they can make and do and film a show and or draw it, animate it, voice it in 6 days, number one, must not have cost them too much because it's very limited time. And something happened last week, we did say it this week, which they did a lot more throughout the years. See, before I got into watching the show, thanks to Edward, I did not know it took them only 6 days to make the show. I'm like, wow, that's such a quick turnaround. But then you get subplots like the whole Timmy and the band, where I'm like, I don't give a fuck. But yeah, I definitely thought episode 2 was better than episode 3, but that's just me. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.